TMCL is officially starting. Let's go with the first match. Let's go. BS Plus versus Homyno Tsun. Glast and Snow versus Feed and Ener on our first map, which is Slowdown. Slowdown as the first map. They also have the overview. Well, record is a 56.48 by Barbos. Let's see who takes it. First to 10, there's a small warm-up that is coming into play as well, but only 10 seconds for everyone to join in. And then we will start with a match. There you go. Okay, so really important outside dirt lines on this map. Also, we have a cruise control bobsleigh. But let's go ahead. Let's see who takes that first round. I'm quickly gonna remove the metal window. We don't need that, but that everything is fine. All right, into the first round we go. It is Feed with a good start. Glast is behind, only 18,000 of a second. Feed with a very good outside dirt line and finds himself in that first position. We have Ener a little bit behind, so good round for the red team at the moment. Snow, half a second behind. Has to push a little bit, but Glast on a really good run. Can maybe snipe away that first position. And, oh wait, we also have to remove the inputs, right? There you go, perfect. Now everything is fine. Glast made a mistake, so this looks really good for the red team, as they are both on that first position. And it seems set in stone. There's still the identity left here, but I think Feed and Ener can take it rather safe. You can see Ener going super inside there and making no mistake there. No hesitation, is so far ahead, and he takes it home. 57.18 from Feed. And the first 3 points for them. So first to 10. So very, very nicely done here. And there you have it. So not even the 56. That is correct, but they could have taken it easy. So everything was all right there. So again, red team is team Homyno Tsun. And then blue team is BS Plus. Feed with a great start again. Finds himself in the lead. Glast challenging him again. Loses it a little bit. Also bumps over there, so you have a little bit less speed over that cruise control block. Feed, Ener coming closer. Feed still leading the round. Ener with a great overtake. And Glast has made a massive error, as well as Snow completely struggling here. Look at that. That's what I mean. Like, you know, if you have a really bad line over that cruise control, or beforehand, if you clip, it's really hard to recoup because you cannot release, you cannot break. Really, it's really hard to control. So it's the next set of points for the red team, for Homyno Tsun, and they are leading with 6 points already. So very good start for them. Glast on third, and Snow not even able to finish. Didn't really have a good run. And that's another ace. Okay, next round coming up. Let's see, can BS Plus bring themselves on the leaderboard? They really have to win this round by at least 2-1 to stay somewhat alive, because 1 point for Homyno Tsun would be already very good for them, you know? But they are leading again, look at that! First and second for Ener, and Feed and Glast makes an additional mistake, as well as Snow being half a second behind. That is not really good. That's a disastrous start. Snow with a mistake here. If you clip, it's so hard to control. Snow this time not really falling too much behind, but you know, it's still over a second, even more than that, probably 3-4 seconds, something around that range. And Ener and Feed can just save it into the ending, and they will win this round in a dominant fashion. So no close round thus far. Can also see safe approaches. I really like Ener's line over that part, clipping that or going over the penalty grass. And we have another ace. So 9-0. Will they do the clean sweep or not? That's the question. Clean sweep potential is there. So BS Plus really struggling, and bear in mind, it was not their pick. So maybe they don't feel that confident on this map. But let's see, and we go into the next round. So, could be the decider. BS Plus has to reverse sweep. They have to win every round. Now, Feed with an insane start, being 0.1 ahead. Will they finally take a point? But no, Feed is still getting first here, and Ener as well overtaking Glast, who has made a small mistake. Snow and Glast really lacking pace on this map. Feed and Ener's lines are looking way much cleaner than the ones from their opponents. And that's all she wrote. This is map number 1, being done so quickly actually. Only a couple of minutes on this map. And it is over with that. So only a couple of more turns here, and they have it. Another ace for Team Easy Dream. Homyno Tsun. What am I talking about? I'm so over the place today. Homyno Tsun, and it is 12-0. Easy Dream will play at 19. My god, guys, I'm such an XTD today. I'm a bit too hyped for all of this event. But we have red team winning. 12-0. You know, we're all humans, guys. Stop laughing. Well, you can laugh. You can laugh, okay? It's fine. You know, it's the first match. We have to get used to it. I'm not. You're not human. You can laugh. Guys, make sure to XTD spam. It's completely fine. Yeah? Back and forth as map number 2. Pick from BS Plus. Glast and Snow have picked this map. And let's go ahead and start. And see what they can do on this map. They kind of, you know, have to perform on this one because a 12-0 is very hard to digest. But Ener has made a mistake. Ener is behind. Not Ender, guys. Ener, yeah? Not that you understood it wrong. Ender is not playing, yeah? Ender has to keep on practicing before getting here. And that is a good chance for Team Blue to take it home. Snow in the lead. And also Glast with a good bug slide over that part. Comes closer to Feed. And now we have that wicked 360 here that players will opt for. You can see Snow doing it really nicely. Feed as well. Glast not with the best speed out of that. And loses a little bit of time. But is still able to stay a little bit further behind Feed, who is a 0.5 ahead and behind both BS Plus players. And now the identity, the backwards section. Snow leading quite a confident margin. Glast also being ahead of Ener. So it is a 2-1 now, and the first couple of points for the blue team. Oh, Glast jumping into the ending there, but it was enough for him. A 59.04. I mean, Afi played insanely on this map, if I recall it correctly from last week. But times are 1.5 seconds behind the world record from Massa. 57.6 is the world record. So 2-1, and it seems that maybe the first map wasn't really that good for BS Plus. So hopefully they can redeem themselves here and make something happen. Oh, Glast oversteering a little bit, losing a lot of speed. Feed and Ener with a very good start. And we have Snow in contention for that first position as well. Going super inside there, has a very wide approach over that bug side section here. And is able to challenge them, and right now leads the round. Good nose here from Glast as well, but still is 0.3 behind. We have a close round in our hand. The first real close round that we have though. Glast with a good turnaround as well, losing a little speed in that section though by losing the gear, I think. But Snow has to get that first position. Oh, but Feed is so far ahead, but the identity will decide it. Is it working out for Snow or not? He is 0.1 behind. He has to push it. He has to take more direct lines than Feed. But it seems that Feed has even increased his lead to 0.3 of a second. Great identity from Feed, and he will eventually take it. And it is the first place for Team Red. Ener on third with that. And Snow at least gets 1 point for his team. But that was a close round. Only 1 second between first and fourth. So hopefully this map will turn out to be a bit closer. And it already is than the first map. Very nice. Ener, a very wide approach here, going for a lot of speed after, or with that reactor boost, by going further up. Good line from Ener. And also Feed is in the mix inside here as well. Good bug slide. Now important to hold that gear here. And be able to set yourself up nice for that jump and the dirt section there. But Snow all of a sudden in the lead. And now the turnaround. Feed going further up. Having more speed. Snow with a more aggressive line over that part is leading the round. Glast is there as well. And BS Plus looks great on this map, to be honest. They are looking really nice. Really challenging Feed and Ener here, but look at that. The identity will decide it. Snow is still leading the round. Glast is on 3rd position. Snow losing a little bit. Is Feed going to overtake him here? Great line from Feed. Feed has more speed. Who's going to risk the ending a bit more? It's Feed going a bit wider, and it will almost be the ace, but it's not quite enough. Snow will eventually take 1st place. Feed in 2nd and Glast on 3rd, and now it's only 0.4 of a second between 1st and 4th. Great round between them, and it is still BS Plus leading. Very nice, but they also kind of have to win after a devastating 12-0 defeat on that previous map. Snow on 2nd, Feed on 1st in this round. Good buckside approach from both players. It's a bit odd to do that buckside, but both players are doing it nice. But look at that, Snow into the lead, and that shows why my guy has performed so well at the Zoreda Cup, because he knows all of those tricks. And not this one, he loses the gear, and Feed with that extends his lead a little bit, but still is able to stay ahead of Ener, who is 0.6 behind Feed right now. But with a good identity, he could maybe secure that ace. But where is Snow going? What happened to Snow? Snow completely making a mistake there, and this will indeed be the ace for Team Red, for Team Homyno Tsun. And with that, they're leading yet again. 7-5. One ace would seal the deal for yet another map win for them. So 5-7. So good angle for Homyno Tsun to win this sub-map match, this map, and go into the lead by 2 points. Ener, however, not with the best start, also struggling with the gears. And it is Glast and Snow who are chasing Feed. Glast with an insane approach here. Look at that, but he slides out. Oh no, Glast sliding out there, and that is unfortunate for him. Snow has to survive unless he doesn't want to play this map anymore. But of course, they have a chance to win. He's on 1st place. Glast on last though, so this will be a tie. But then, you know, it's now all in the hand from Team Red. If they perform well and one of them getting 1st and the other teammate not getting last, this will be the GG anyway. So now both teams are getting 1 point, unless Snow is getting overtaken by Feed, and that is the case. Feed ruining the day from BS Plus, 58.70 and a great identity. And now it's only 1 more point for the map win. And unfortunately, only 6 points for BS Plus, so they have to win this round. They have to win in order to stay alive, and we could have a 9-9 situation. Oh, but a very, very poor start from Glast, falling a couple of tenths behind. 0.3 of a second. Also not the best speed over that, but good approach. But this part looked really good for them. But Feed and Ener leading the round. They have to push. They have to win. It doesn't matter. It's do or die. Glast has to full send it, but Snow as well, making a mistake, but someone was able to survive and is still in the race. How did he survive it? It is Feed who has made a mistake, and Ener is still in the lead, but only by 0.4 of a second. But he has to get overtaken by both BS Plus players here. Will this happen? Ener with a great approach over that part though. Glast with more speed, but he can cruise it into the ending. He can get 3rd position. 2nd position, I mean. So one player can overtake him, and Glast will do so. Ener just has to survive the ending, and yes, he will do so, even getting 1st. And that's all she wrote. 2-0 in favor for Homyno Tsun. Wow, what a performance though. What a good performance from Team Red. After being behind, getting that ace was really important for them. Okay, we have the next map that is coming into play. And that is also the pick from Homyno Tsun, as well as the first map. And we have Freestyle. Freestyle. Let's go. Let's see what will happen on this map. Map picked by Team Red, which is Homyno Tsun. And we have this cruise control starting section into this very important... okay, no outside approach here from Snow. And Glast, interesting, not going for the speed. I was expecting them to go outside because you can see Feet has so much more speed over that part, but makes that mistake now. So it is only Ener left to be alive in this round, also going to the lead with that, but it's very close between them. An ace will be huge for Team Blue in this round. Will they take it home or not? Now this ice slide uphill, very awkward to drive that because it's hard to predict where your car is going due to the ice slide mechanic on that uphill. But look at that, good line from Glast, nice nose slide. Also is considering the gear by opening up his steering, but his teammate Snow jumping to Narnia doesn't really have the best amount of speed, but that's going to the identity. Also not the easiest part to do. Let's see who's gonna survive it. Very good approach from Ener. Will he take that first position? Looking very nice, clipping a little bit, but it doesn't matter. And it will be Ener ruining the day and the ace for Team BS Plus. Unless he makes a mistake at the ending. Nope, it will not be the case. Great identity and good approach. And also not the worst round here for BS Plus. And Feed securing some style points at the end. But we're not playing stunt mode. We play TMCL. Bad chest. So Ener saving the round. Ender saving the round? Yeah, Ender saving the round. Exactly. Ender saving the round. Thank you, Ender. Okay, again, this inside line from the blue team. And, I mean, it's not really that bad, to be honest. You don't really lose too much with that. Maybe just sets you up better for the next turns. And also here, very important no steer section. Now Ener in the lead, Feet again behind. So Ener seems to be performing really well on this map. We have now the ice slide. Glast doesn't go for ice slide, jumps so far up and gets a lot of speed out of that. Now the reactor boost part, very good inside out again from Glast. Look at the speed accumulated from Glast into the lead. Now the release timing has to fit, but he just decides to not release at all because you will just, you know, go downhill anyways, and you have to slow down on that 180-degree turn anyway. Glast in the lead. Ener with a very risky identity, but is able to survive it with that. Who's gonna win that round? Glast versus Ener in the ending. Glast getting it good, but Ener still ahead and will win it with a 107.929. And another draw, guys. Another draw. Very good identity from Ener. And let's go ahead into round number 2. So no team has an advantage point at the moment. And I think this inside line is just rather, it's just a safe approach. You know, you see it's equal up until this point where you go into the drift. So maybe you lose like 500ths of a second, something around that. But maybe they don't feel that confident with that outside line. But still a very close round. Ener and Feet leading, but there's also Snow who's still running hot in this round. Now Glast going for the very jump to Narnia here, but having a lot of speed. Feet has made a mistake, so it's again only Ener left here to survive for his team. And also here, good release timing from all players. Snow again deciding to jump. And let's see Ener's identity. Will he overtake yet again and force another draw? Oh my god! Someone clipped there and has made a mistake, so that is unfortunate stuff for him. And Ener will yet again win it! Oh, not the best landing, but it will still be enough. Glast 0.2 behind. Snow will stay ahead of Feet! No, he will not! He has made that mistake and Feet overtakes at the end. Snow having a terrible identity here, but it's also not that easy to get that timing correct. And the first victory on this map goes to Team Homyno Tsun. Next round. Still no one's game so far. BS Plus looks really good on this map. And they also looked really nice on that previous map. So let's see what they can do in this round. Can they take it or not? Okay, Ener with a great start. Snow with a very inside approach there as well. Gets a lot of speed out of that as well. Feet is also in the mix. Only 500s behind his teammate. Glast will again go for that very high jump, but now he makes it really good. Look at that. Really nicely done. Feet sliding out. Again, struggling with this part. And this nose slide was really well executed from Glast. And look at that. Going into the lead. Ener decides to slide there, and also it is Feet still in the mix, even though he has made a small mistake. The identity will decide it. Only 0.2 of a second between the plays, but Feet with a mistake has to respawn. Ener again in the lead. Snow with a good approach, but lifting off a bit too early, losing a bit of speed, and it will be Ener yet again saving the day. Ener clearly the MVP for his team on this map. Just securing every round victory, or the most round victories, and also 107.75. It's not a bad time if I do say so myself. Okay, next round coming up. Still a 1 point lead for Team Homyno Tsun. And Feet with a great start. Will he survive that ice slide section now? Where you can opt for different approaches. The ice slide is very risky though, because it's really hard to time that correctly. No, I see Snow not going for that. It's safer. Feet with a good approach over that part. Goes super inside with that. Also decides to drift into that dirt section. And then releases here accordingly. So he leads by 0.4. Now Ener is behind though. Has made a mistake. So Glast and Snow now have to survive. Feet has made some mistakes in that identity. Will he survive this time? First one looking great. Snow having a lot of speed. But I think it's not enough unless Feet makes a mistake. Snow with a mistake. It could have been the overtake. But he still survives. And Feet now saving the day. Ener on last. But that was close. Could have been a nice identity from Glast or Snow there. And could have been a point for them. But this didn't happen. So 5-6. So many rounds have been played already. And let's see who wins the next round. First to 10, of course. If it's a tie, gonna play as long as we have figured out a winner. So if we have like a 19-19 situation, that's unlucky. This has happened before. I think in the match from Lingo and Buckley, if I recall it correctly. Let's go into the next round. Snow gives us a very good overview over that field. Great ice slide. Also jumps super far up. Feet approaching so far on the outside. Losing a lot of speed with that. And also Snow now not opting for a no slide. So losing the gear and having not the best momentum, or gearing up not in the right moment. But it's still very close. It is Feet still in the mix. It's only 0.2, but Glast losing a lot of speed here in this round. Glast jumping so far up. Will Snow stay ahead? No, he will not. And this is again a disaster for BS Plus, because they have been playing so good on this map up until this point. But there was always someone, either Ener or Feed, denying them. But now they are falling apart, and it's 5-9. That is not really what you want as BS Plus here in this situation. The second and third map looked really good for them. So they will probably get clean swept here unless they get the, you know, their performance up on that next map. But let's see. Let's see what will happen. As Feed and Ener are leading. 5-9 points it is, so they only have to get 1 second place. That would be enough, so both players could potentially risk it, as Ener gets a really good ice section as well as Feed, setting himself up very far to the right to get a beautiful apex over that turn. You can see how this pays off for him. Also Ener with a great line. But his identity looked really, really good. So unless Homyno Tsun's players don't make a mistake at the end, this will be the GG. There's only one more jump left. And I think Feet will survive that. And there you have it. Feet with a clean identity and a 107.63. Great time to end it all off here. And also Ener sniping Snow. And this is a 6-11 on map number 3. GG's. Yo, thank you guys for the warm words. I hope you enjoy the cast. I also have to find In the Groove again. But I hope that you enjoy it. Let's stay hydrated. Alright, let's go into map number 4. Could potentially be the last map of this match. Because the score is already 3-0 in favor for Homyno Tsun. They could start this season off with a banger. But I already thought that BS Plus has to step up the game. But look at that. First and second. Just to start it all off with here. Could be a huge advantage point just in that first round for them. As never mind, Glast is on third. I thought the skin, both skins are blue. I've just seen blue. I've seen blue team and I thought, yo, blue team is ahead. But of course it's the team's colors. I'm sometimes such a pepega. Anyways, let's go ahead into the round. Because Ener leads, very important to also not clip here on that bobsleigh corner. Ener survives it quite well, but Snow with a bit more speed, coming closer. Very important to stay outside here to get as much speed as possible into the identity that comes up. Oh, Ener struggling a little bit, doesn't have the best amount of speed. Snow can come closer, good approach here as well. Snow with a little bit more speed, Ener bonking there, and Snow will survive it. Will Glast be on second place as well? Nope, he has made a mistake, but Snow will save the day at least, and Glast has to respawn again. Feed, however, is still behind him. But this could still be a 2-1 advantage for Team Blue. This identity looks really easy, but I can tell you something. It is not easy to do. Like you can see, you can bounce off of anything. But good start for the blue team. No ace, but they go into the lead with 2-1. Okay, so a sign of life. But I would say that they were really unlucky in some of those rounds that both players have made mistakes. So they have kind of lost it there by getting aced in very unfortunate timings. But BS Plus playing very solid. Especially on map 2 and 3. Map 4 as well right now. You know, they are in first and second. And Feed has made a mistake. So maybe that's a spark of hope for them to maybe get a reverse sweep going or not getting dominated 4-0. But look at that, Glast and Snow leading. The identity comes up. Snow with a beautiful outside turn, accumulating so much speed, almost hitting the border there. That was so good. And let's see who will fail that here. Glast and Snow looking clean. Snow with such a beautiful jump, and that is indeed the ace. The well-needed ace for the blue team, going into the lead by 5-1. Very nice from them. 103.075 from Snow is the winning time. There you go. World record on parkour is a 102.16 by Granadi. And it's looking good. It's looking promising for the blue team. Let's hope that they will take it home here as well on this round. As Glast gets a good start, not losing the gear. Now you want to jump diagonal to set yourself up nicely and minimize airtime. And then you have this ice set, which is quite awkward to set up because you have to oversee a little bit more than you think. But Glast gets it nice, and look at Snow as well, going to the lead here. Wow, what a great approach from both players. This is looking very, very nice as Feed is losing a bit of time, and Ener coming closer. Now important to not clip on that bobsleigh corner here. Feed so close, accumulating a lot of speed. It's only 0.2 of a second between the players, but it's Snow leading, and then Ener is behind. But the identity has been a struggle point for Homyno Tsun. But look at that, we have Feed with a great, great approach over that part. Who's gonna survive it? Feed clipping the sign though, and it's out on this race. Snow and Ener will be first and second, and Ener will stay ahead, even though Snow had a better landing. 0.008 of a second though. And let's see who will get third place. Will it be Feed? Yep, Feed finished. So Glast doesn't need to finish, but it's at least 1 point for the blue team. Yeah, this identity is really hard, chat. It looks so easy, but it's so hard. I can tell you something. 0.008. I thought that Snow's landing wasn't not really that good, but it looked clean at the end. Very nice map though. I really like parkour. Like most maps seem really nice. There's some maps that are very wicked, yeah. Back and forth, for example, probably the most wicked maps with all the 360s and reactor boosts. And let's go ahead into the next round. Important round for both teams, but we have one slide out here from Snow. I think, no, it was Feed. Didn't even lose too much time. I think the draw would be really good for the blue team because this gives them the angle for the ace victory. So if they get an ace in the next round after that, they will close out this map. But in this identity, a lot of things can happen. Feed. That's what I mean with speed. This is atrocious for you, you know? You have to jump so far to the right here, and it's so hard to just come back from that. And we can see Glast now not making a mistake. Ener also, oh my god, it's a complete fiesta. It is actually the ace for Team BS Plus by the looks of it. Yes, it's the ace. First, second, because Ener has made a mistake and Feed also has failed the approach to the identity beforehand. So it's 9-3, and we might go to map number 5 here with that. BS Plus is not dead in this match just yet. Great performance on this map in particular, and they only need to get themselves a second place in order to force map number 5. Very nice to see that. Great performance from BS Plus on this map. Let's see if they can keep it together. They seem motivated in this season. Ener, good start. Feed a little bit further behind. Gets a good angle though. Glast not sliding out on this part, and Feed is trying to push here. Glast, however, in the lead. You know, Glast and Snow, I would say that those identities suiting them really well. You can really see it here. They're doing a great job of also surviving already before the identity. And let's see if they can make it. Oh, we have another mistake here from a player from Homyno Tsun. It was Ener who has made that mistake, so this would be the GG if it stays like that. If one of those players survive the identity, Glast will not do, but Snow will save the day. Yes, he will. Second place for Snow, and that is indeed the first point for BS Plus. Great performance. It's not over, guys. It's not over yet. BS Plus fans, it's not over yet. We go to map number 5. BS Plus fans mod check. Wow. Guys, come on. Rude. Absolute rude. Exactly. I agree with that. When Scrappy playing? Exclamation mark. Wait, was it, what did we do? There was a command for that. But Scrappy will be the top match. Is it bracket? You can see it in the bracket. We've also done something else. So, Slippy Slides. Exclamation mark Scrappy. Guys. Okay, we're live with map number 5. Slippy Slides. 111.46 by Massa is the world record. You want to jump very high to get a good approach into that bowl. So also not the easiest map, to be honest. The identity part beforehand can be very hard. So let's see. Snow also not getting fragile. You want to avoid airtime, but look at that. Snow and Glast leading, and I would say that the identity suits them even better. Great party from both players surviving it, and they could start this map off with an ace here. Again, this could be a disaster for Ener and Feed. This could really go into their head. And we have a great match in our hands with that, guys. Look at that. Good approach. Now the bug side into eyesight section. Very well done as well from both players. Let's see where Ener is. Will he ruin the day? Also, Feed is there losing a bit of time. It's now 0.5 between second and third. But let's take a look onto the identity. Good approach from Feed. Going into first position with that almost. But it's not quite enough. But Snow is there to get first, but it's actually Feed sliding out. And Glast is too far behind to have a saying. No, Feed had to respawn. So we'll be first and third for team, not Homyno Tsun, for team BS Plus. Look at that, only 0.2 between them there. And there you have it. BS Plus looking great. Homyno Tsun losing a bit of ground with that. Yeah, Feed unfortunately sit out there. Oh, great jump here from from Snow, jumping so far up. And finds himself in the mix, battling out with Ener, who's on 2nd position. Feed on 1st. You also don't want to lose the gear. That's what you have seen how Glast did it, but there was one gear howling up and down, so one player has lost the gear. But let's jump into the identity here. After a couple of more wicked slides. Ah, Glast sliding out there, interesting. Glast sliding out, losing grip. And now it's Snow, who has to get either 1st or 2nd position. Snow, who has to get 1st or 2nd position. Because Feed is out of him. It seems like Feed has had a really good identity. You know, let's see if he can survive it again. However, Snow can still get his team a point as Ener overtakes, but Snow with an illegal wallbang. I will report that to Nadeo, and Snow also with a wicked stun, but there are no style points here in this match, and he will finish on last position, so he will not get a point. Ener with a great identity as well. 1:12.03 is the winning time, and that is the ace and the lead for the red team. So next round, very important round for both teams. Could again be the angle for the victory for Homyno Tsun. But, oh my god, this is a disastrous start for BS Plus. Both players on last position, 3rd and 4th. And Feed and Ener are leading quite comfortably by 0.4 of a second. And they had really, really clean identities. So unless they don't make a mistake, this could be over very soon, even though BS Plus had such a good start into the match. It doesn't seem to be enough, unfortunately. Alright, now the bug slide. Can slide out there. Or get a better approach, like Ener was a bit too far inside, Snow having a bit more speed. Really important that he at least snipes one person. That 1 point will be huge, but Snow makes a mistake and slides out due to the watery tires. And they have to just survive that ending here. Team Red, no one sliding out. Feed with a mistake, though. Feed with a mistake. And this could be actually a draw if Glast overtakes him. Let's see who's there. Feed is getting 3rd place. Oh, but not the best approach for the identity. Sliding out. Will Glast overtake? Yes, he will. And this is the draw. Very important draw for the blue team. This is not a 2-7 situation. It's 3-5. Wow. Okay, we still have a match, guys. It's not over yet. And an ace would put BS Plus into the lead again. Very heated up match. And I would say that, like, quality, I thought this was the less exciting match of the day. But this one is certainly already a banger. A certified banger, ladies and gentlemen. But Feed and Ener are continuing where they have stopped in that previous round. But just when I say that, it's Feed making a mistake. So the caster's curse is kicking in yet again. Ener, however, still leading. Snow with a great line. Glast, so much speed over that part. Now you don't want to slide out. You still have watery tires. Snow does it very nicely, but look at the speed from Glast here. Very good outside dirt line from him as well. Also better approach than Ener, who lags a little bit. And now we have a new leader in the race. It is Glast. But Ener with a very good approach. Oh my god, that was so much speed. Gains 0.5 of a second over his opponents. And he finds himself in the lead. There's still the identity, however, that he has to survive. It's still the advantage for the red team because they are leading. But still, you know, the blue team, BS Plus, are gaining some momentum with that. Surviving the identity as well. And there you have it. Another draw. Another draw, ladies and gentlemen. 4-6. Of course, you know, it's good for both teams, but the red team is coming closer of winning the whole match. Okay. Next round is coming into play. It is Glast again with a great start. Feed, however, leads the round. And now you have this auto slide here. Ener sliding a little bit too much there. And losing precious time. What the fuck? Guys, I look into the chat one time, and the message that I see, LuckersTurbo, you are better looking Scrappy. What is happening, guys? What is happening? Oh my god. But you know what's happening in this round is that Snow and Glast are leading the round. It's first and second for Team BS Plus, and they could go into the lead. It could be a 3-2. That is disastrous for Homyno Tsun, because they have built up so momentum on map 1, 2, and 3, and now it could be a 3-2, as Ener is the only player left alive here from Homyno Tsun. Let's see what they can do. They have to survive the identity though. Snow with the best exit, going a bit wider. Ener risking it a lot. Ener could go into the lead. What a snipe from Ener. Will he make it? It's so close. And Ener will not win it. 5,000 of a second here between them. But what a round was that? Oh my god. 5,000s decide here. But what an identity that was. Damn. That was crazy. Okay, 6-7, the match is heated up, and also an angle here for the red team to take home the whole match. It's down to the line. It's like just a small wire here for the red team and also for the blue team to stay alive, and also for the others to win. You know, it's so close, but Ener not with a good start. Snow in the lead, but look at the speed from Ener, getting it very, very well there. And he finds himself on that third position, almost crashing there on the outside. But look at that line here from Glast coming closer. Snow still leading. And this is a huge round for the blue team, for BS Plus. Will they take it? They need first and third to force a tie. And then we could go into a decisive round where a draw, of course, would it spice up even more. Ener again with not the best approach over that part, sliding out. Oh no, Ener sliding out there, and Snow and Glast have to survive. And then there will be a draw. There will be a draw. Glad that there's a red turbo here for Glast. Not really losing too much speed with that. And Glast will eventually get that third position. Feet on second. Uh-oh. Glast. No, it's a draw. Glast throwing away that point. And the red team will take that one. Unfortunately. Identity incident, ladies and gentlemen. This identity is not easy, also due to the watery tires. But man, what a great match. And guys, that is match number 1. I'll tell you that much. That is match number 1. Wow. Alright, next round. 7-8. Blue team could win, red team could win. But it is Feet who has made a mistake. Also didn't get the best gear over that part. You have seen it. He was in gear number 3, losing additional time over that part. So that is not good. Ener with a mistake, and it's first second for Team BS Plus. You have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. Will we go to map number 6? Snow sliding out though, making a mistake, and Glast leads the round. He has to survive in order to just get anything done here. He has to survive, and this could be a 9-9. Very important fight. Snow jumping so far outside there, and also Glast losing precious time. Now the identity will decide it. Will Feet be able to survive it here or not? It is Snow still in the mix, and Ener as well. They could still win the round, but it is a very good identity approach from Feet, gathering up so much speed, but Slime not getting the slide here. Snow is in second position. Will he get second? He will get second. No, he will not. Oh my god. Glast is first, but Ener snipes Snow. Oh my god, it's 9-9. What is happening? It's 9-9. Match point for both. For the red team, but map point for the blue team. Will he go to map number 6 or not? It is Ener who has made a mistake. And that is such a close map here, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Feet, however, leads the race. And, you know, if both teams tie up the score now, again, so it's a 1-1 situation, we will just continue with the next round. However, what an identity there. That was so close for both teams to lose this map or even this match. I think it was Snow here last round sliding out, but no, Feed sliding out. Feed with a mistake, and also Snow with a mistake. What is going on? Snow with a bad apex over that turn, but still not losing too much time. It's 0.5 between them. Also Feed jumping so far outside there, not getting a good approach, has to oversteer, losing a lot of speed, and they just have to cruise into the ending. They need first and third to win this map, but it's Glast with good amount of speed. Feed with a great approach over that identity, pushing it a lot, but good approach from Glast and Snow again. Will Feed be able to get that first position and ruin the day for Glast and Snow? Snow in the lead, and Snow, no! You have to be kidding me! No way! How did Feed win this round? No way! You have to be kidding me! What? What was that snipe? Holy macaroni! Guys, I just stood up! What is happening? My voice is almost gone in this match. Holy macaroni! Oh, Lord in heaven. What an identity from Feed, saving the day yet again. It's 10 to 10, do or die for both teams, and we have Feed making a mistake. Glast and Snow have to get first and third to win this round and this map. Breathe. I'm breathing. I'm just hyped. You know, Trackmania esports at its finest. But you know what's also good? That Feed is making a mistake in the perspective from BS+. Glast and Snow on first and third. Will now Ener ruining that day. Snow with a mistake, and this could be very costly. Glast has to get that first position, else this is over. It could be Homyno Tsun winning this map. Oh, but no! Oh my god! You have to be kidding me. No, no! Oh my god! What is happening? What is going on? What is happening? What is happening? I'm in disbelief. I am in disbelief. Oh my god, dude. What is happening? Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Wow.